Hey guys, hope everyone's well. Just once, I wish I could be proven wrong about a prediction I make about guitar strings. Apparently not. I'm not allowed to be wrong about this kind of thing, and it's so frustrating. Sorry, I should provide some context at this point, because I'm just talking about nothing, aren't I? You'll be aware, if you play guitar, of Ernie Ball strings. They've been around since 1968, I think? A long time anyway. I think it's 50 years. They've got many high-profile endorsers there. They've got Mick Mars from Motley Crue, James Hetfield, Kirk Hammett from Metallica, Paul Gilbert, John Petrucci, Slash, lots of big-name people. They're a very well-known string brand. You might use them, you might love them. But some people have had some concerns about Ernie Ball strings. They've had concerns about their lifespan, and they've had some concerns about them breaking on them. So, if for some reason these aren't good enough for you, enter Paradigm. These are supposed to be unbreakable and they're supposed to last forever. Ernie Ball is so confident in this that they've actually given a 90-day guarantee on these strings. If they break or rust within 90 days of you buying them and putting them on a guitar, they will send you out a new set absolutely free. So obviously, I had to find out how long they actually last. And seeing that I can rust through a normal set of guitar strings in a couple of hours, can Paradigms resist that, or are they just like everything else? Let's find out. So as part of this test, I put a set of Paradigm strings on my Gibson Explorer. I put a 10-52 set on, tuned to E flat standard down a semitone. I wrote a really quick song and recorded it in about an hour and a half, and kept the same strings on for the playthrough footage that you're about to see. So how did they last? Let's take a look and find out. I wounded myself recording that. I hope you appreciate the sacrifices I make for this channel. Suddenly the tape thing that Kirk Hammett does makes a lot more sense. But anyway, if you remember my NYXL versus Elixir video that I did a little while ago, my first one in this shooting location, coincidentally, I tested 3 things. I tested tone, lifespan and feel, if I remember right. I haven't watched it for a long time. I think it was those 3. The tone of Paradigms compared to standard Ernie Balls, as you saw earlier, I got a set of both just to be scientific about it. The tone is, to my ears, the exact same, so big plus on Ernie Ball for that. The feel, at least again to my hands, is exactly the same, big plus to Ernie Ball on that. Lifespan, however, things get a bit more complicated. If I say the word Everlast in relation to Ernie Ball, you might be aware of 2 things that Ernie Ball do with that name. They've got a kind of guitar pick that's called Everlast, which doesn't last forever, but whatever, it's not the point. And it's the name of a treatment process that they use for the Paradigm strings to make them last longer than normal untreated strings, but not a coating. So you don't get that coated sound and coated feel because they're not coated. But much like the Everlast picks, it doesn't last anywhere close to forever. The Paradigms do last longer than untreated strings, that's entirely fair, but not as long as they at least should for me. I put them on yesterday morning, and as you can see in this second camera footage that I shot last night, parts of the frets had already started going black after the end of 1 day. Now you'll probably remember if you've watched a couple of my other videos that for some reason my fingertips are just ultra-corrosive and they will destroy anything they come into contact with, which is terrifying to live with, but whatever. So at least for me, I didn't expect these Paradigms to last 90 full days. I think that was a bit unrealistic, at least knowing my body chemistry. But for them to last a day or even less at the price point Paradigms are at, it's not worth it for me. They degraded at the exact same speed that some other strings degrade at under my hands, which, especially when they're treated, just doesn't seem to make much sense to me. The treatment doesn't seem to do anything, at least against my kind of disgusting corrosiveness. But I'm not sure if that's just me, your mileage may vary. Now I realise I'm labouring this point about string life, and that's not the only thing that Paradigms are supposed to be about. I understand that, but to me that was something that was very important. I wanted to be able to find a set of strings that will last longer than a normal set of strings, because they just don't for me for some reason, yet gives me that same sound and feel, but can last long enough to record more than a 3-minute demo before I have to put a new set on. Unfortunately, they don't do that, but they do lots of other things really well. You remember right at the start of the video I talked about how the Paradigms are supposed to last a bit longer and they're supposed to be unbreakable. They are completely indestructible. I tried really hard to break them. Nothing happened. The only other set of strings that I've come across that are as indestructible as these Paradigms are the NYXLs. And much like the NYXLs, the Paradigms, once they're kind of tuned up and stretched in, are completely locked into tune. They will not go out no matter how hard you try. And I really like that. I think that's a great innovation. However they've done it, I don't know. But I respect and admire that they can do that. It makes it so much easier if you're playing live regularly to not have to stop between songs and tune up all the time. You can just keep going. It can help things flow a lot better, and I really like that. I also really like that Ernie Ball have reinforced the ball end of the string. I've never had a problem with strings breaking at the ball end, but it must be a problem for other people because they've thought to remedy it. And I really like that they've made it really obvious that they've done it as well. The ball end's got this really distinctive gold plating around it, which I imagine would stop it unravelling or something like that. I'm not really sure how strings break at a ball end, but whatever. They've made efforts to fix it. Again, another great move. Unfortunately, I can't show you the reinforced ball end that I'm talking about on camera for reasons that I will explain in just a second, but I promise the reinforcement is there. The reinforcement is a great move, and I really like it. I think, again, more points to Ernie Ball for that. So about why I can't show you the reinforced ball ends at this point in time. You remember right at the start of the video that Ernie Ball have a 90-day guarantee on Paradigm strings. If they break or rust within 90 days of normal playing conditions, that's their words, not mine, You send the strings back to Ernie Ball and they will send you out a new set absolutely free. I like that as an idea, however, it's very intensive the way they determine whether they've broken under normal playing conditions. They kind of set their own CSI team to look at the strings or something like that, and determine whether they're broken or rusted under normal conditions. As part of that, however, they inspect whether they're broken at all, and that means that you aren't allowed to cut the strings to get them off your guitar to send them back to Ernie Ball, at least as I understand it. If someone knows better, please tell me if I'm wrong. But in all honesty, if I take the strings off now to show you, I'm that much of an idiot that I will end up accidentally throwing them away and I won't be able to send them back to Ernie Ball. So I'm keeping them on the guitar until I'm ready to send them back to Ernie Ball in a couple of days or so, along with the box they came in and the foil packaging that the Paradigms come wrapped in, and the original purchase receipt to prove that I bought them within 90 days. I can understand why they're doing that, because otherwise you could buy a set and 18 months later one rust and you're like, oh no. It just becomes this whole thing. It's just easier to send the receipt along, even though it is a bit of a pain. I get that. Once they send me back a new set out, I fully intend to try this again, and I fully intend to report back to you if anything changes. If it doesn't, there's something wrong with me. Well, of course there's something wrong with me, but whatever, that's not important right now. When the second set comes back, I will try this test again. I will report back to you guys if there's anything different, and I would really love to be able to sing the praises of these strings a little bit more, but as it stands, they just don't last long enough for me to justify spending any more money on Paradigms. They lasted about the same length as a normal untreated set of guitar strings, although they were completely unbreakable, and that is a big positive. I haven't had problems with breaking strings before, but actively trying to break those, nothing happened. So I really respect that as kind of an innovation, if nothing else. But what I really want to know is your opinions on Paradigms. Have you tried them? Did they last longer than normal untreated strings? Did they feel or sound any different to you? You know, what did you like and dislike about them? Drop me a comment and let me know. I want to open up a dialogue about this because I want to understand how other people approach what sounds like a really innocuous choice in strings, but is very personal and matters a lot to a lot of people. I think that's all I wanted to say for this video, so if you liked it, leave me a like and let me know why in the comments. If you really hated this video, leave me a dislike and let me know what you didn't like in the comments so I can try and improve on it in future videos. I would quite like to, you know, have videos that people like to watch rather than just me talking about nothing to no one. Bit soul-sucking, whatever. And if you really like this or you want to see more, press the subscribe button down here somewhere, and I'll get more videos out to you very soon and we can keep going on this kind of journey together. I just want to thank you for watching this entire video, and I will see you very soon. See you then.